It is August 7th. Wow. August already. That feels wild. Really wild. It's foggy. We are being blessed with foggy mornings till about 10, and then the sun comes out and summertime feels in the air. Down here in Southern California by the coast, we are feeling the effects of climate change, not as horribly as some of our friends and family in the rest of the Southwest are. But it is ever present, noticing the differences. When I moved here many years ago, nobody had AC. There was no need to have AC that's close to the coast. And now you see them popping up. And people are, running to get AC for this time of the summer from now end of July till about end of September. It gets hot and muggy, which is so weird because usually our heat was dry. Anyhow, random story of the weather. It seems like a common theme. But this is the first Monday in August. Curious to see what the ancestors have on deck for us. It's a busy week here as well. We are getting ready to ramp back up into our busy fall season. Seems like a lot of the organizations that we work with have that kind of school year rhythm. So back to school time it gets busy for everyone. And we're excited. It's going to be a really great year. We've done such good work to be ready for big things and to serve more folks. And so there's some traveling on the horizon, some new clients, some of our kind of long-term folks that we regularly check in with frequently or annually, semi-annually. And it's going to be great. So last week, we got the Muse as our inspiration and direction, feeling creative and inspired. And it seems like, let me look at last week. Yeah, there was a lot of creativity and inspiration to be had. My colleague Nina had been away for a week, and when they came back, whenever any one of us leaves for an extended period of time, even more than a couple of days, we're always excited to have them back, and all of these ideas and new things and new insights seem to follow. So that's fun. So the Muse felt pretty right on for last week. We were, just bubbling up with creative energy. Let's see what we have. Oh, also, I'm working this week very deeply on the design of an agenda for a kind of planning, learning, reflection session for an organization that is like a network of like 5 cities doing really important impact work, anti-racist work, and kind of like in the public and nonprofit sectors. They're coming together, a small group, to do some deep work with one another. So I've been sketching, drafting an agenda. And this week, in fact, right after I get off of this, I will be really deeply diving into the details of that. So that's got me really excited. This wall behind me will become plastered with butcher paper, and I will get to work. That's still kind of a preferred way for me to do that sort of translation of these themes and ideas from my head to paper. And then I'll transfer that probably into Miro. Since they're a distributed group, we want to make sure that whatever they design and imagine together when we're together next week is something that they'll be able to access when they're all back, their regularly appointed places. So let's see what the ancestors have to say this week to guide us. I could really use their guidance because I'm feeling a little bit creatively blocked, or or maybe I just have like so many ideas in so many directions, and this isn't a new group where it could go a million different directions, but they've already done some work together. So I want to make sure that what we do aligns and complements what they've already done, but also want to help them level it up. And anyhow, lots of ideas, and I'm having a little focus problem. So let's see what the ancestors have for me. Hold on. Oops. Create a channel. Nurturing. Looks like there's going to be a lot of that in the agenda. That's what I'm feeling as well. The great nurturer. I give and receive nourishment. My fingernails are really dirty from my gardening this weekend. I scrub them, but still. I can work with this. I think everyone is in need of creating those communities of care. And I think our organization is unique in that that is kind of a central pillar of the work that we do, and what we've become known for, I think, in many spaces is how we create those spaces where people feel like they can bring their authentic self safely. We kind of, you know, reflect sometimes how we've forgotten that the way we roll with one another and in our facilitation is still not the way the rest of the world is rolling in many ways, in nonprofit, public sector, public sphere. So we forget how special it is sometimes just to create a container for people to bring their full selves and safely. There's been a lot of talk about be your authentic self and bring your authentic self and blah, blah, blah. And that poses some risk for folks that are from systemically marginalized communities to really bring their full selves to a space that might not be able to hold that and receive that. That's too much to ask of folks. So it's incumbent on us as leaders and facilitators to make sure that we're creating containers where that is a safe thing to do, right? Where there's accountability for everyone to make sure that it is a safe space to do that. That's one thing to have, you know, a facilitator pop in and create a space and hold that accountability for them. But if that can be sustained after we leave, that's what we're really aiming for, right? Is that that we somehow are able to kind of tweak and alter the DNA of a culture so that that becomes the norm, that those spaces and that safety become the norm. It's a long one. Maybe it's the first of the month's going to be long for me on these. Anywho, great nurturer, feeling it. I'm pretty sure I know the shadow of this one because we've had this before. It's, you know, make sure that you're not pouring out of an empty cup. Make sure that you've, you know, created habits and practices and created a community for yourself that nurtures you so that you may nurture others. I give and receive nourishment. Make sure that you're not just pouring out, but you're able to receive, and you've, you know, kind of eliminated the blocks to receiving that nourishment as well. All right, y'all, have a wonderful week. I love and appreciate you all. Honestly, I don't even know some of you, I'm sure, but that is my default care and connection. And that is in itself sometimes has been told to me that is risky, but if we start from there, we can always adjust down the road if people aren't worthy of it, right? But it's where I like to open up, start from. Anywho, a lot of things this morning, obviously. Love and appreciate you all. Go out and do wonderful things, grow good, and make it a swell week.